one of the healthy ways that we can respond to fear is to affirm the thing that we desire. Affirm the thing that we are trying to be. If we need courage, affirm that. If you want to trust, affirm that. If you need clarity, affirm that. Why don't we try that? Why don't we try an affirmation that will support and assist you in standing courageously and trusting that no matter what happens, you will not lose. Work with me. Try this. I am standing for myself within myself. Now take a breath. I am standing for a new vision. Now take a breath. I am standing for my divine purpose. Now take a breath. I am standing for my highest and greatest good. Now take a breath. Let's do that again. I am standing for myself within myself. Now take a breath. When we think we are unworthy, it means that for some reason we believe that we have to prove we have a right to our space on the planet, in life, as we are, being who we are. And that means that we will do all manner of wonderfulness to prove we deserve to be here. And usually, some of the common things are we overcommit, overgive, we overdo, we over-excuse, we overcompensate, and we stay in difficult, desperate, hurtful, harmful situations much longer than it is wise or productive to do so. Worth, what it is that you expect from the world in response to who you are, is very different from value. Self-value means how you hold yourself within yourself and what you expect as a result. Now, in order to get to the worth, if you're not holding yourself within yourself as worthy, then what you expect from the world is surely gonna hurt you. So here's an assignment for you. For the next 40 days, every morning you are to write 40 statements of I am. I am love. I am beauty. I am peace. I am joy. I am power. I am worth. I am value. I am truth. I am light. I am wealth, health, whatever it is, I am. And write it as a noun, not as a verb. Not I am loving or I am lovable. I am love. I am power. Every day for 40 days. If you miss a day, go back and do it again. I am. It will restore your worth. No matter what mask or what face you wear in the world, your real self knows the truth. And there was a time in my life when I acted like I knew a truth that I didn't know. And the truth I didn't know was the depth of my value and my worth. You see, I had already been an author that had sold over 6 million books, 14 different titles. I had already been on my own television show. I had traveled around the world. I had spoken to hundreds of thousands of people, and still I did not know or value my own worth. So I had a very big opportunity to go forward and to be on what was once called the Oprah Winfrey Show. Yes, and I went on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and Miss Winfrey asked me back again and again and again, and eventually I became part of her Change Your Life faculty. And it was all good. I had written 13 books. I had traveled all over the country. I had done her show repeatedly, but I didn't know my own sense of worth. So what happened? I tried to live in a place that I didn't believe was true for me, and eventually I crashed and burned. Crashed and burned by leaving the Oprah Winfrey Show and going on to another network and doing another show that didn't even survive a season, all because I didn't know my worth. Now, it would have looked like all sorts of external circumstances. Oh, there was a miscommunication between me and Miss Winfrey, and the other network was offering me a lot of money, and why shouldn't I take a big business deal? No, It was about me not knowing my own worth, me not being able to stand in the miracle of being on the Oprah Winfrey Show repeatedly among honored teachers without having to work hard for it, because that was what I had been taught. The matter with me was that I didn't know how to receive a gift, a blessing, without working hard for it. So when things came to me easily, I blew them up. It's self-sabotage or procrastination or forgetting or whatever it is. That opportunity went away because I didn't know my worth. That's the kind of truth we have to tell each other. We have to be aware of it, we have to acknowledge it, and we have to accept it. And then we have to look at what makes me live less than my truth. Is it because it's not safe for me to tell the truth? So many of us live a life as children where we tell the truth, the big people get mad at us. Is it because we don't feel supported in being the great, grand, glorious, wise, beautiful, creative people that we are? Or is it that we just never felt loved enough to know that we matter? Never ask anybody permission to do what you need to do in your life, and never expect anybody to know more about your life than you do. That's your life. If you can't live it, how in the world do you think somebody else is going to be able to live your life for you? I want you to be able to see and feel and experience the shift in your consciousness when you start living the truth of who you are. When you begin to acknowledge what's the matter with you and what matters to you, and that when you have a toolbox of principles, of skills, of information that you can put to use in your relationships, in your work life, building and healing your mental life, your emotional life, your spiritual life, and your physical life. You gotta understand who you are, understand what makes you go tick, what makes you go tock, and what makes you go boom. There's some things that would tick, tock, and boom me all at the same time. I had to separate them out, because as you get older, you just can't handle that much stress. There are probably 3 things today that will make me angry. Angry. One is abuse of children. When I see it, when I hear it, I go totally Brooklyn and I'll roll up on anybody. The other thing that makes me angry, but it won't move me to do anything, is woman-on-woman violence. And I think the other thing that really makes me angry, is people who can help and don't. I won't roll up on you like I will if you mess with children, and I won't, scour at you like I will if you're women fighting women. But if you can help and you don't, it hurts my heart. And then it just takes me into a deep place of prayer. I know that about myself. But I also know what's gonna make me laugh. There's some things that people think are fun that I just don't think are fun. So I remember when I went skiing, and all my girlfriends said, "Oh, we gotta go on the ski trip, it's gonna be so much fun." Well, first of all, I don't do cold well. Any kind, at all. Only thing cold I like is ice cream. So, but of course, it's an opportunity to shop. So I went out and bought all new ski stuff. Matching pants and matching black jacket and the hat and the gloves, and shopping is fun for me. Doesn't matter what the occasion. And then I got on the thing. People think this is fun. I think it not. I got on the thing that takes you to the top of the mountain, the lift. Well, I didn't know there was a beginning, an advanced, and an expert. So, we all went up, and because we were being more cute than we were being cautious, we just got on the first one, which was like the advanced one. And so when we got to the top of the hill, it's like, well, damn, what you do now? Because the lift, it don't go down. It only goes up. Nobody bothered to mention that. So now we've got to ski down the slope. These are black people from Brooklyn. You don't even know where to buy skis, okay? And then the lie is, as a black woman, you can't ask for no help.
But I needed Jesus and all the disciples. None of us knew how to ski. All right? Someone came along to help us because they could. And they told us to get in the position and to lean. But since we were holding on to each other, the first one to slide just dragged the rest of us. Well, I don't know how far down the hill I got before I ended up very unceremoniously around the tree. Oh, wait a minute. See, that's exactly what happened. You see how that happened? I said, you know what? This is not for black people. You gotta know these things. And look at them and have fun with yourself. What is it that makes you smile? What is it that brings you joy? What is it that pisses you off? What is it that frightens you? What is it that makes the pee run down your legs? What's that? That's the real fun thing. Yeah. Because if there's not something in your life that pushes you to the point where the pee is running down your leg, then you ain't living big enough.
Freedom means authoring your life moment by moment to move you forward, standing in your inner authority to determine what you are going to choose moment by moment. That's freedom. And if you keep telling the story about what happened, what didn't happen, what they did, how they did it, you're going to be enslaved to the past. Hear me. You know I love you. Give up the story in 2021. I don't care what it is. It's not going to work for you. And here's how you're going to give up the story. Step 1 to freedom. Ready? Step 1 to freedom. Look up. Look up. Get out of your humanness and step into your divinity. Look up. And it doesn't matter what you're looking up to. Whatever that is for you, if that's God, if that's Jesus, if that's the angels, the ancestors, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, look up in 2021. You got to look up. You might just want to walk around like this. If you want to experience freedom this year, you've got to look up. You can't look because it's so unstable and so uncertain that something could be going on one moment. It's not going to be going on the next moment. You could have something one moment and not have it the next. So you have to look up and know that your good is coming from above. Can you hear me? Does that make sense? Look up. How do I look up, Miss Iyanla? What do you mean, look up? Well, write your visions down, because you get to choose what you want your life to look like. But you've got to write it down. You've got to get it out of your mind. Why? Because there's ants in your mind. We talked about that last year. You got ants. Not in your pants, but in your mind. Another negative thought. So when you have your good visionary thoughts up there, the ants are going to crawl all over them. Write it down. Put it in your journal. Put it on an index card. Put it on the refrigerator. I don't care where it is. And once you write it down, look up. I'm writing this down. Another way, how do I look up? Miss Iyanla, how do I look up? In your prayer. Look up in your prayer. Your prayer is a step up. It's a look up if you pray. So you got your journaling or your writing of your vision, of your desires. Write it down and look up. Pray about it, look up. These are choices. It's a choice to pray. It's a choice to journal. It's a choice to write stuff down. Write it down, look up. Pray, look up. That's the first step towards freedom, as opposed to looking around and looking back and looking over and looking under. Look up. Okay? Look up. Here's your second step. Let go. Let go. Once you write it down, and once you know, and we're going to talk about, because you can't not do anything, but we're going to talk about how to do what you need to do to move yourself forward so that you can stay free. But once you write it down, once you pray about it,
You're looking up, now you let go. That means that you don't obsess. That means that you don't worry. I had somebody tell me the other day to take any other class that I'm doing. I don't know how many of y'all are in the class with me, but this woman said she prayed about her son. She did her work. She hadn't seen him in so long, and the day after she finished her prayer or whatever she was doing, she heard from him. Okay? Look up, let go. So that you don't have to be burdened with the how. You have to focus on the what. If you have a what, the universe of life will provide you with a how, so you can remain free. You can remain free. Worry will enslave you. Control will enslave you. So if you want to be free, if you want to experience freedom, these are things you must choose to let go of. I refuse to worry. I've discovered that when we stay in a certain state of mind or way of being for, it could be 24 hours, we attract energy.
Yeah.
We're all energy. Everything is energy. And as we grow and heal and do our spiritual work, we can clean our minds, we can clean our hearts, but we've also got to clean our energy.
Yeah.
So it was really a brainchild of my daughter, who passed away from colon cancer. She created this line of body products called Masterpiece. How do we master peace? P-E-A-C-E.
I love that.
And the way we do that is to make sure our minds, our hearts, our bodies, and our energy is clear. So what I was able to do was to recreate the line of Masterpiece products. And right now we have a body wash that is made, I hand make right
That's
now.
amazing.
With essential oils, with herbs, using a base of African black soap, which is known for its skin healing,
Yes.
healing properties. Because I want people to clear their energy. Sometimes if you clear your energy, it makes the internal work easier to do.
We have to clean up our minds by having a clear vision about what we want to do. It is amazing to me, and I'm just I'm come out the projects in Brooklyn, but it's amazing to me the number of people that live every day without a vision, just walking around blindly waiting to see what's gonna happen. That would make me crazy as all day long. I was gonna say a bad word, but there's children in the room, so I cleaned that up. I cleaned up my mouth. And it's 2013. A vision. The great philosopher Nietzsche said, if you have a strong enough what, the how will be provided. And the vision is your what. What are you doing? I remember my grandmother used to say that to me. I was telling somebody earlier, my people are from right here in Smithfield, Virginia. Right in Smithfield. I was in Smithfield out of Brooklyn every summer. As soon as the school door closed, I was in the car on the way down to Smithfield. And half of my family worked in the Gwartley meat factory. Maybe that's why I don't eat ham to today. I had a pet pig of my very own. Okay? I've had enough pork to last me 4 lifetimes. Okay? But my grandmother used to say to me, what are you doing? What are you doing? And as kids, nothing. But it's amazing when we look at adults today, how many of us don't know what we're doing with our gifts, with our skills, with our time, with our talents, with our lives. We gotta have a vision, and that begins in the mind. I'm not talking about a to-do list. I'm talking about being able to look into your life and see how you want it to be. Don't worry about the how, get the what. What does your life represent? We got to get it clean in 2014 and encourage our family members and our partners and our spouses. My partner is a journalist. He's a journalist. He's really into details. Sometimes I just don't even want to tell him what I see, because then he gonna have a list of 55 things that have to go, but it gets done. It happens. It unfolds. It occurs, because a vision will pull you forward. One of the things I believe that Girls Inc. has is a vision for the young children. A vision to see them stronger and more productive, to see them moving ahead. Clean up your mind, get a vision, and it'll pull you forward. Don't worry about the how. God never gives you a vision without the provision. If you do the work of seeing it, how to get to it will be provided to you. That is, if you're in alignment.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.